Mr. President, esteemed friends, representatives of governments, foreign ministers, and also friends of the world who come together here every year in this very important reunion. I have great pleasure to return to New York, even though I have not been here for many years. And also like to thank for the amount of cooperation and how our delegation has been received. Last night I was in the Lincoln Theatre. I was watching a movie made by Oliver Stone in the last few months, that is throughout this year. A movie with a title that makes us think. That movie is called South of the Border. There you can see Mr. President, you can see the President Evo Morales and also together with Oliver Stone. As Morales says, cocoa is not cocaine, is not cocaine. And then you also see the President of Argentina, and it's about a new thesis throughout South America, throughout Latin America. There you can also see the President Lula, President of Brazil, talking with us in Venezuela, looking at how we develop the indigenous people of La Guajira, who have been repressed for so many centuries. And there you can also see President Fernando Hugo, an archbishop, someone who's part of liberation theology, someone who says that now that I live in this sort of situation, that I, as an archbishop, can now become president. You also see Rafael Correa, the president of Ecuador, together hand in hand with President Raul Castro. You can also see Fidel and also Obama in Trinidad, having a conversation with a number of us. I think it is a very interesting movie by such a great cinema director, Oliver Stone, and he who has also made two other films about Fidel Castro, Looking for Fidel and also Comandante. There are, Mr. President, a number of different ways of thinking of how we can try to move on beyond this stage. After the movie, we stayed there for a little while, and I had a conversation with a number of people there, with a number of people from the United States and also in other parts of the world. And I think it was very, very useful, and we learned a lot of lessons. And it was very much symptomatic of the importance of what Fidel Castro says in relation to the battle of ideas. One lady who might have been 50 years or so of age, she's North American, speaks a little bit of Spanish, and came up to me and said, "I'm very confused." She's very white. And she said, "I'm very happy." And I asked her why. Why is that? And she said that's because first I thought that you were very bad, very, very bad. And that she's one of the many people who's victims of this battle of ideas, the continued ideological bombardment that continues to attack all of the United States and also the rest of the world, and tries to overturn reality, as Eduardo Galeano says, tries to put reality on its head. That movie called South of the Border, I think it was very useful discussion, and I think it's a very useful movie. And I have to say that there in the south of the border there is a revolution. There is a revolution in South America and throughout all of Latin America, and there's also a revolution in the Caribbean, and that's something that the world has to look at and see, has to take on, and also has to accept it, because it's a reality that it's not going to change. And also, I would have to say, Mr. President, that it's a revolution that goes beyond ideology, but it's also about a whole new form of geography, of geopolitics. It's a very historic revolution with very deep roots, a very spiritual and moral revolution. It's also a very necessary revolution. It's a very large revolution. It's very extensive, and it will continue to grow no matter what sort of conditions it faces throughout the next months, throughout the next years. And it's big. And why is it big? It's because it's a reflection of what it reflects. It's because of many hundreds of years of repression that it has come from. People from Gambia have just arrived. Take a seat. Yeah, make sure you put your earphone on. Okay. Viva Africa. I'm not going to speak more than Gaddafi. Gaddafi spoke for everyone. That applause is for Gaddafi. But I'm not going to speak less than what Obama spoke. Or less than Lula. Take a seat. Come in, the ones who are just arriving. Anyway, as I said, that revolution is very big because of the times that we are facing, because it's part of an accumulated period of repression, hundreds of years of battle, of struggle, of suffering, because of the suffering of millions of human beings throughout Latin America. It's a very large revolution, accompanying a large space. And it's also a very profound revolution. And it's also because it will involve the masses of the people. That is, no one should try to stop this. No one could stop this. Yesterday, President Morales said, that great leader, great Amara leader, great indigenous leader, and it's also said inside in the movie, and I hope that you don't miss it. And Oliver Stone has said that there's pressure for it not to be shown in the United States. So much for freedom of speech. What can a movie do?